You know those mornings when you stand up and your knees feel stiff before you even take the first step? It's a quiet discomfort, almost like your joints are whispering that they're tired of carrying yesterday's weight. Many seniors tell me the same thing. Dr. Hartley, I thought this was just aging. But the truth is softer and far more hopeful. Your joints aren't giving up. They're responding to signals you can still influence. I'm Dr. Samuel Hartley. 25 years in clinical nutrition, most of that spent helping older adults keep the strength and independence that make life feel like theirs. And over that time, I've seen something surprising emerge in the research. Something simple enough to sit in your refrigerator. 4 specific yogurts, not just flavors, but biological tools, may quietly support joint comfort, reduce stiffness, and help your legs feel steadier beneath you. And the last one works through a mechanism that even many doctors overlook. Before we go deeper, just pause for a moment. When was the last time your knees felt truly light? That answer matters more than you think. When seniors tell me their knees feel rusty, I often wish I could show them what's happening beneath the surface, because once you understand it, the path forward feels far less intimidating. Inside every joint, there's a silent conversation happening between your immune system, your cartilage, and the fluid that keeps everything gliding. After 60, that conversation changes. Your body produces fewer of the enzymes that repair cartilage and more of the inflammatory messengers, cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, that slowly irritate the lining of your joints. Not enough to scream, but enough to whisper every morning. Add one more piece, synovial fluid, the natural lubricant in your knees and hips, becomes thinner with age. Think of it like oil in an old engine, still there, just not quite enough to keep movement smooth. That's why getting out of a chair can feel different than it did 10 years ago, even if your x-rays look normal. And here's something the research shows clearly. Your gut has a surprising influence on all of this. A 2021 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors with healthier gut bacteria had significantly lower inflammatory markers and better joint mobility. When your gut is inflamed, your joints feel it. When your gut is supported, your joints often soften. One more layer, sarcopenia. After 60, we naturally lose muscle in the legs at a faster rate. Less muscle means more pressure on the knees, not pain caused by the joint alone, but by the workload around it. This is exactly why the right yogurt can matter. The protein supports muscle fibers. The probiotics calm the gut. The anti-inflammatory nutrients influence those cytokines. Each type works on a different piece of the system: muscles, cartilage, fluid, or inflammation. Before we step into the first yogurt, just ask yourself, what would your days feel like if your knees moved with less resistance? When a patient tells me their legs don't feel as steady anymore, I always look at one thing first: muscle. Because after 60, your body starts losing muscle at a much faster pace, quietly, slowly, but you feel it every time you stand up, every time you climb the stairs, every time your knees wobble for just a moment before they stabilize. And that's exactly why Greek yogurt is far more powerful than it looks. Inside that simple bowl is more than a breakfast item. It's a dense, highly absorbable source of protein, the kind your muscles after 60 can actually use for repair and rebuilding. A 2018 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults who consumed high-quality protein consistently had noticeably better leg strength and mobility, which means a single cup of Greek yogurt each day can send a clear signal to your muscles. We're still rebuilding. We're not done yet. And when your muscles get stronger, your knees no longer carry all the pressure alone. The load spreads out. Each step starts to feel smoother, more confident. But that's just the beginning. Most people don't realize that your gut and your joints talk to each other constantly. If your gut is inflamed, out of balance, or lacking beneficial bacteria, inflammatory signals travel straight to the joints. And you feel it in the morning, that stiffness, that heaviness, that lack of glide in the knees or hips. Greek yogurt brings something special to the digestive system. Probiotics. Tiny helpers that calm the gut and restore its balance. And when the gut calms down, something remarkable often happens. The joints begin to ease as well. A 2021 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults with healthier gut bacteria had significantly lower CRP, a key inflammation marker tied to joint discomfort. In other words, when you care for your gut, you quietly care for your knees at the same time. I think of Frank, age 71, soft-spoken, 40 years as an electrician. When he came to my clinic, he wanted only one thing. I just want to climb the stairs to my woodworking room without grabbing the railing. We started incredibly simple. Half a cup of Greek yogurt each morning, some fruit if he wanted it. That's it. 4 weeks later, he told me something I'll never forget. "Doc, my knees aren't arguing with me in the mornings anymore. Not a miracle, but a shift he could feel with every step. And if you're wondering how you should take it, don't overthink it. You don't need recipes or fancy combinations. Just let it become a gentle rhythm. One small bowl, one simple habit, one daily signal to your muscles, your gut, and your joints that says, we're moving in the right direction. And when you think protein and probiotics are the whole story, there's actually a yogurt that works on a completely different pathway. One that touches the very center of inflammation itself. And that's exactly where we're heading next. If Greek yogurt helps your muscles and gut take some pressure off your joints, turmeric yogurt works in a completely different direction. It steps into the center of inflammation itself, the quiet fire that so many seniors feel first thing in the morning. You know that deep stiffness, the kind that makes your knees feel like they're waking up slower than the rest of you? A lot of that comes from inflammatory signals your body sends out as you age. They're called cytokines, IL-6, TNF-alpha. And after 60, the body tends to produce more of them. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because the repair systems simply don't respond as quickly as they used to. This is where turmeric becomes something special. Turmeric contains curcumin, one of the most studied natural compounds for supporting a healthy inflammatory response. And research suggests it may help ease joint discomfort, support mobility, and soften those morning aches that creep up on you. But here's the part most people never hear. Curcumin is fat-soluble. If you take it alone, your body struggles to absorb it. It just slips through before it can do its best work. But when you blend turmeric into a rich, full-fat yogurt, now the absorption changes. The yogurt becomes the carrier, the vehicle that helps curcumin move through the gut wall and into the bloodstream. And if you add just a touch of black pepper, your body absorbs even more of it. Tiny changes. Big difference. I've seen this happen with Helen, a 68-year-old grandmother who loved gardening but hated the way her knees felt after kneeling for too long. We didn't start with supplements or complicated regimens. We started with something gentle. A half cup of yogurt, a pinch of turmeric, a sprinkle of pepper, and a little honey in the evenings. 3 weeks later, she told me, I can bend without bracing myself first. Not perfect, but better. And better is the beginning of everything. And here's why this matters. When curcumin enters the system with the help of yogurt, it interacts with those inflammatory pathways, the COX enzymes, the cytokines, the very signals that tell your knees to feel irritated. And when those signals quiet down even a little, you feel it every time you stand, stretch, or take that first step out of bed. Some people enjoy this blend sweet. Some mix it into a savory dip. Others add cinnamon for warmth. It doesn't matter. What matters is giving your body a steady, gentle rhythm, something it can trust day after day. And just when you think easing inflammation is the whole story, there's a yogurt that steps into a different role altogether, one that helps your knees glide with more comfort, by supporting the very fluid that keeps your joints moving smoothly. That's the next piece of the puzzle. There's a moment many seniors describe to me, that quiet catch in the knee when they first stand up. Not pain exactly, more like the joint hesitating before it remembers how to move. And if you've ever felt that tiny delay, that sticky sensation on the inside, it often points to something simple. Your joints aren't gliding as smoothly as they used to. Inside every healthy knee is a thin, silky fluid called synovial fluid. It's the body's natural lubricant, the thing that lets your knees bend without grinding, your hips rotate without complaint. But after 60, synovial fluid tends to become thinner, not gone, just not quite enough to keep movement effortless. That's why omega-3 yogurt plays such a meaningful role. Omega-3 fats, EPA and DHA, help your body maintain that fluid and may support a calmer inflammatory environment around the joint. In research from the British Journal of Nutrition, older adults who consumed omega-3s regularly reported less morning stiffness and smoother overall movement. And here's the beautiful part. When omega-3s meet the proteins and probiotics in yogurt, the benefits don't compete. They complement each other. Picture it this way. Protein supports your muscles. Probiotics support your gut. Omega-3s support the fluid that lets the whole system glide. 3 different layers, all working together. I saw this unfold with Robert, 73. He loved walking his dog along the riverside, but told me the first 5 minutes felt rusty. Not painful, just resistant. We added one small habit, a cup of yogurt in the late morning with a drizzle of omega-3 oil mixed in. He chose a lemon-flavored fish oil so the taste stayed clean. 6 weeks later, he said something so simple but so powerful. "Doc, I start walking, and my knees just go. Not perfect, not 20 again, just smoother, easier, more willing." And that willingness, that freedom in your steps, is something you can feel every single day when your joints get the support they've been silently asking for. Some people use omega-3 fortified yogurt directly from the store. Others gently stir in ground flax or chia. And some add a teaspoon of liquid omega-3, choosing a flavor that blends right in. None of those choices are wrong. What matters is giving your knees the lubrication they need to move without hesitation. But as helpful as omega-3s are, they still don't fix one deeper issue, the slow thinning of the very tissues that cushion your joints. And that's why the final yogurt might be the most important of all. It supports the framework, the collagen itself, that keeps your joints feeling held, supported, and capable. We're heading there next. There's a kind of joint discomfort that isn't sharp or sudden. It's quieter than that. It shows up when you get out of bed, or when you've been sitting too long, or when you go down a slope and feel your knees absorb more pressure than you'd like. That kind of sensation often points to something deeper than inflammation or weak muscles. It points to the cushion inside the joint, the connective tissues that help everything hold together. And that cushion changes with age, even faster than most people realize. Inside your joints are structures made of collagen, cartilage, tendons, ligaments, all the soft scaffolding that keeps your knees gliding, your hips steady, your back supported. But collagen production begins to slow in your 40s, and by your 60s, your body is making far less of it than before. It's not a failure, it's simply biology shifting to a different rhythm. Collagen yogurt steps in right here. Not as a trend, not as a miracle, but as a source of the raw materials your body needs to rebuild that scaffolding from the inside out. When you bring collagen peptides together with the protein and probiotics in yogurt, something powerful happens. Your body doesn't have to struggle to break them down. It receives them in a form it can use almost immediately, like handing a builder ready-cut wooden beams instead of raw logs. A clinical trial published in Current Medical Research and Opinion found that older adults taking collagen peptides daily experienced noticeable improvements in joint comfort and mobility after 12 weeks. Not magic, just steady nourishment, applied over time. I think of Margaret, 69. She wasn't looking for perfect joints, just the ability to kneel in her garden without worrying how she'd stand back up. We gave her a simple evening routine: 1 cup of Greek yogurt, a scoop of collagen powder stirred in, a small handful of berries for vitamin C, and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds for zinc. 8 weeks later, she smiled and told me, "I can get down and up again without planning my exit strategy." It wasn't youthful joints, it was supported joints. And supported joints carry you through life in a completely different way. What makes collagen yogurt unique is that it works on the tissue itself, the framework that holds your joint together. Protein helps the muscles, probiotics help the gut, omega-3s help the lubrication. But collagen supports the very architecture that keeps your joints feeling cushioned and protected. You can prepare it at home in less than a minute. Plain yogurt, 1 scoop of unflavored collagen, a few berries for that crucial vitamin C to help your body synthesize new collagen, maybe a touch of turmeric if you want an anti-inflammatory edge. It doesn't have to be fancy, just consistent, because when your body receives that steady supply of building blocks, something shifts. Movements feel a little softer, stairs feel a little less demanding. Getting up from the ground feels a little less like a chore, and that little less adds up. And now that you've seen how each yogurt supports a different layer of your joint health, the muscles, the inflammation, the lubrication, and finally the collagen itself, there's one more step that ties everything together, a step that helps your joints feel stronger, not just for today, but for all the days still waiting for you. Now that you've seen how each yogurt supports a different part of your joint system, the question becomes, how do you help your body get the most out of all this? Because small habits don't work in isolation. They work as part of a rhythm, a gentle flow your body can trust day after day. And the first part of that rhythm begins earlier than most people think. It begins in the morning. When you first wake up, your joints are naturally at their stiffest. Synovial fluid hasn't circulated yet. Blood flow is slower. So, when you pair a morning yogurt, Greek, turmeric, or omega-3, with a few minutes of simple movement, you create a powerful signal. You're waking up the digestive system, the muscles, and the joints, all at the same time. I often tell my patients, give your body 1 minute of kindness in the morning, and it will give you 10 minutes of comfort back. And it's true, a short walk to the kitchen, a gentle stretch while you wait for the kettle. These tiny cues prepare your joints to absorb the nutrients better. If you prefer collagen yogurt, the evening can be a surprising ally. Your body repairs tissues during sleep. That's when collagen peptides can be especially helpful, arriving in the bloodstream just as your body switches into repair mode. I've seen many seniors sleep more comfortably simply because their joints don't argue with them as much at night. There's one more layer: consistency. Your body doesn't need perfection, it needs steadiness. Even 3 or 4 days a week can be enough to create change you can feel. Because joint health doesn't improve in dramatic leaps, it improves in quiet inches. A little less stiffness, a little more ease, a little more willingness in your steps. And if you stay with it long enough, there comes a moment, often unexpected, when you stand up, take a step, and realize your knees didn't hesitate. That's when you know your body has begun to respond. If you've stayed with me until now, take a slow breath, because your joints have been asking for this kind of understanding for a long time. We've walked through 4 yogurts today, each one with a different role, each one touching a different part of your joint system. Greek yogurt helping your muscles stay strong so your knees don't carry the load alone. Turmeric yogurt calming the quiet fires of inflammation. Omega-3 yogurt helping your joints glide so your steps feel smoother. And collagen yogurt supporting the very framework, the cushion, that lets your body move with trust again. None of this is complicated. None of it requires perfection. It only asks for one thing: a willingness to care for yourself in small, steady ways. Because joint health doesn't return all at once. It returns in moments, moments when you stand up a bit easier, moments when a staircase feels less intimidating, moments when the body whispers, "Thank you for giving me what I needed." Before we close, let me ask you something gently. When was the last time your knees felt like they were working with you, not against you? If any of today's habits resonated with you, I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone else who's been feeling the same quiet frustrations. And if you'd like more guidance like this, calm, practical, evidence-based, I invite you to subscribe. It helps this community of older adults stay strong together. And remember, your body hasn't given up. It's waiting for the right signals, one small habit at a time. The next step is yours.